Alright, welcome back, and today's video is a little bit different. Today we're going to be going over my mastery setup that I've had so far. I first want to say it's not perfect. I have a lot of things I still want to do, but yeah, let's go over my Cavalier setup. So first I have Precision and Cruelty at rank 5. Two really good masteries to have, and then once I did that, I did have Glass Cannon ranked 3. It had 3 points into it for a little while until I was able to unlock recoil. Then they get my ouchie masteries, liquid courage and double edge, and so now I only have 1 point in it. But then I was able to get 3 points in liquid courage. I just did this. I did have 2 points, but now it's up to 3, and 2 points in double edge. So I will obviously get 3 points into double edge once I have enough units. I could sacrifice some other masteries in order to get that extra point in, but I just don't have the units. I spent all of it, so that's great. Then on the bottom here, I have Despair. Now, Despair, I am thinking of maybe adding more points into it after I'm done with, what was it name? Double Edge. Sorry, I always forget the name. Maybe, it's possible. And then I have Deep Wounds. I don't really have that many champs that do bleed. I mean, I think Hitmonkey does, but only a little bit. And to be honest, I'm not a big fan of bleeds anyway, so I only have 1 point to it. And I also have Assassin. Now this, I did think of adding more points into Assassin, but it's not worth it because the first point gives you 20%, and then it only bumps up 10% each point. So you're not getting as much as the first point. It is possible to add more points maybe in the future, but right now I'm going to stick with 1 point because 1 point already does enough. 20% attack, that's pretty decent. And if you're just starting out on playing this game, I suggest getting points into courage. Now I had 3 points into courage like pretty recently, but I took them out to put towards my ouchie masteries. But yeah, 10% increased, and 15, and 20%. You don't get as much as the first point, but it's still pretty decent to have 10% attack while they're below 50%. And I also had 3 points into Pierce for a little while in the beginning of the game. Critical hits from your champions ignore additional 5% armor and resistance. I can't say it's the best thing out there, but it's better than like these two masteries, I'm pretty sure. And then I did have lesser precision and cruelty before I was able to get the normal ones, because these do cost units. The brown ones do cost units to unlock, like the Stony Mastery course. That's the name of it. But yeah, in the beginning, I suggest getting those 3 as soon as possible. Once you're done with those, you can do 3 out of 3 in Glass Cannon. Just know that although it does increase your attack, it also decreases your base health. So be careful of that. And Despair is also not that bad, but this one costs a carbon. I'm gonna call them carbon cores. So be careful of that. It costs 550 units. So definitely save up units for that. Oh, and I forgot to explain that recoil, it does increase your special attack by 30%, but you lose 5% health after each activation of the special 1 and 2. Not 3 though. You'll be fine on special 3s. In the Alchemy Masteries, Liquid Courage increases by 30%, so pretty nice. The first one's 10%, but you get a poison debuff that drains 0.6% health, and you'll be fine for champs that have like a poison immunity or whatever. Same thing with Double Edge. If you have someone with a bleed immunity like CGR, that fits well with this. 20%. It will be 30% once I get that point in, but 15% of health is lost by bleed debuff over 12 seconds. So you do lose your health faster with Double Edge. But yeah, definitely try to get as many units as possible and don't waste them like on premium crystals. But now let's move over to our defense. Now I have 18 points in defense. Kind of similar to offense, both vitality and greater vitality both kind of suck, so don't put points into them. The 2 best early ones are recovery. Increase any health your champions recover during a fight from a buff or passive regeneration effects by 15%. So it increases your regen, which is really nice to have. Definitely worthy of being maxed out. And another one that's really good is block proficiency. It just increases the block proficiency of your champs by 800 and so it just decreases the damage you take as you block. So which is really nice to have. Definitely get those two. I did have points into Sal for a little bit, but I don't think they're worth it that much. I rather put points into this other mastery called Stand Your Ground. While blocking, your champions have a 33% chance to resist a block break. I like this mastery because sometimes I don't have the fastest reaction time, and so when they throw a heavy, I'm not quick enough to dodge it, and I just take a heavy to the face. So this has saved me quite a few times, not gonna lie. And this also does decent in Alliance War, or it at least makes your champions a little bit more annoying. But another mastery that I've seen people use, but I never used it, is Perfect Block, the one right before Stand Your Ground. Champions gain 1% block chance. Perfect blocks reduce incoming attack damage to 0. Maybe you should go with Perfect Block, but I'd rather just have points in Stand Your Ground. By far the best one out of defense is a mastery called Willpower. For each new type of debuff your champions suffer, they passively regenerate 0.7% health per second and gain some armor. The main thing about this is the regeneration, because especially later on to the game, when you get a whole bunch of debuffs, just regenerating a little bit of damage done to you is really nice to have, and you'll be able to get more hits in, which means you might be able to win the match instead of just dying from the debuffs. I have 3 points into willpower. You should definitely have at least one. Definitely have maxed out if you're running the Ouchie masteries, which are Liquid Courage and Double Edge. They deal with the poison and bleed debuffs. But yeah, definitely get willpower. Willpower is probably the best one out of here. But yeah, as a little overview, don't put points into vitality and greater vitality. Get points into recovery and block proficiency. And you're going to need 15 points in order to lock willpower. This is the big guy here, willpower. All right, let's move over to the last one. It's proficiencies. I have 8 points into this section. First, if you're first starting out in the game, then I strongly suggest getting parry and dexterity. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Dexterity. So what parry does is that when you have a well-timed block right before the enemy attacks, you can stun them for a second. And so then you can get like a combo in, then a special or just a special or whatever. Really nice to have. Makes fighting enemies really easy, or more easier than before. And dexterity, what it does is when dodging backwards, you can actually dodge like special attacks and stuff. And normal attacks, of course. Really nice to have, especially if you don't want to take block damage from the attacks and special attacks. If you're like low on health, or like if the special attack is unblockable, then you're gonna want to dex them so you don't take a beam to the face, you know. And definitely start practicing early on with dex and parry. Really nice skills to have. Another one is stupefy. This one's pretty simple. Is that you just your stuns just last longer, pretty much. Definitely have 3 points into stupefy. Dexterity, you can get away with just 1 point. Parry, I mean, I run 3 points into parry, but I have tried 1 point and that was fine as well. But I rather just have 3 points into it. And another mastery that you might consider putting points towards is limber. It reduces the duration of any stun effects by 8%. Now, I know people like to run multiple points into limber. I personally don't. But I can definitely see why, because if you get stunned, like from like a parry or like a special attack, this could save you because it will help you take less damage and recover from being smacked in the face. So I could see why people do this, but I just simply don't. Yeah, definitely get parry and dexterity and practice them. And after those, definitely get stupefy and get it maxed out. But yeah, this is my mastery setup. Like I said earlier, definitely not perfect. Still need to level up and get more points, and so I can put towards my other masteries. But overall, I am happy where I am right now. Definitely better off than what I was like a month ago. I am glad that I put on Liquid Courage and Double Edge. You should at least try these masteries out in order to see if you like them or not. Because I think they're worth it, but for some other people, maybe not. It also depends what kind of champs you have, you know. But yeah, thanks for watching, and have a great day.